Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. And hey, svenskar, tack för att du kom till min kanal. I hope that doesn't mean something completely different from what I'm trying to say. If it does, I don't mean any offense. In this video, I will be talking about the Swedish national final, Melodifestivalen, which will choose the Swedish entry for Eurovision 2025. And in this video, I will be doing two things. First of all, I will give you my own personal subjective top 12 of the entries that made it to the final. And then I will try to answer the question you can already see on your screen: who should win Melodifestivalen? Who should Sweden send to Eurovision to give it its best chance of doing well at Eurovision? And if there's one thing Sweden knows how to do, it's choose the right entry to do well at Eurovision, it seems. So let's get right to it. Here is my own personal top 12. My number 12 is Dolly Style. I see why people like this, but it's just too colorful and too much for me. It sounds like a 90s entry by, it's a bit Barbie girl, but not as fun in a way. It's trying to be country, but it really isn't. And the giddy up and all of that is just too much for me. It sounds like a kid's song to me. I think this will get a lot of votes from the under 12 folk, but otherwise, I don't really know what people see in this, to be honest. In 11th place, I have Maida Omar. I do love the Eastern influences. I think the staging is pretty cool with the different dancers and the reflections and all of that. But what I just can't get past is the boom, boom, chicky, chicky, hush, hush chorus in this song. It's just too basic for me. And the whole song itself doesn't have anything catchy. Like, I had to go back, listen to the song, and write down boom, boom, chicky, chicky. It's trying to be catchy, I think, with that, but it doesn't manage to do that. So, yeah, that's why it's my number 11. In 10th place, I have Maja Ivarsson. I like the vibe of this song. It's something I could go with, but the lyrics are a bit meh. She starts it by haters gonna hate, so I'm guessing she doesn't care about my opinion anyway. It is a bit repetitive, and there's just, again, something that really stays in my ear missing in this song, unfortunately. My 9th place would be Scarlet with Sweet and Psycho. First of all, what is with that makeup? I saw that and I thought, I've seen people on the street on Halloween having better makeup than that. I think they have to really come up with something better for a huge stage show like at Melodifestivalen. The staging seems quite impressive, but when you really look at it, not that much is happening and they're quite static. Maybe they want to focus on their vocals or something, which is fine. The song itself kind of works for a dark pop song. That's why it's number 9 and not number 12. But I still think that the chorus is a bit generic, and that's why it's my number 9. In 8th place, maybe a bit of a surprise, I have Clara Hammerström. I really like her as an artist. She's a great singer. She's very charismatic. But this song, On and On and On, has the right title for me because it feels so generic, so repetitive, goes on and on and on. Maybe don't name your song after its main weakness. I love the tempo change. That is the main part of the song that I like, where it slows down and then gets more and more intense again. But otherwise, and the staging, I don't really understand why they're in ancient Greece. And I don't know. It doesn't make all that much sense to me. Unfortunately, because I really love her, she needs a better song. Give her a better song. And then maybe next year she can win Melodifestivalen. And I don't think it's happening this year. In 7th place, another artist I really love. His Eurovision song was my favorite, one of my favorites of 2019, was it? Really love that. I love this soul-y energy. Here, it's a good song. It's an okay song. I can't quite point out what is missing here. It's like soaring and feels anthemic, but it's kind of soaring and anthemic throughout. I think it should have taken a bit more time to build to something for me to like it. Again, this is my personal subjective opinion. He performs it quite well. I think the staging is a bit almost like they don't really expect this to win. So it's fine that it's in the final, but I don't think this is a winner. In 6th place, I have Eric Segerstedt, even though I quite like it. The song is a bit Mid, there's nothing really that outstanding to me in the song itself, but he performs it really well. I really believe him. This feels very authentic. I love that he's at a piano. Um, but otherwise, yeah, nothing to really write home about and fall in love with this even more. He does look like Colin Farrell a little bit. I like that. In fifth place, this might be controversial, but I have Mons Selmelöv. Few things to say. I did a video on his rehearsal already and was quite critical. I have to revise a few of my opinions from there. I stick with my opinion that the lyrics are very cringe and almost disqualifying for an entry like this. Don't talk about revolution when you don't really have anything to say. Like the lyrics are way too overpolished for a song about revolution. I also think that the song itself is good enough, but it's kind of pop made to impress, which is fine for Eurovision and will probably be very successful, but it's just not my cup of tea. I just like something a bit more experimental, maybe. And then what I really like is his voice. I like the rawness in it. He really does it well. He is an incredible performer. He knows how to sell this song. He has charisma. I mean, he oozes charisma. It's incredible. And the staging I criticized in my last video, I have to say, it really came together seeing it on screen. It's a great staging for the first 2.5 minutes. It's an amazing staging for the last 30 minutes, seconds, sorry. And it is world class in the last 5 seconds when he does this really raw scream and the paper is flying around him. That really was very impressive. But it's really more the staging than the song and the lyrics that make this stand out to me. And that's why it's only my number five at the moment. Might grow on me, maybe. In fourth place, I have Saga Ludvigsson, mainly because I like like these kinds of songs, country pop, with a bit of a sassy attitude in the lyrics. It feels very Shania Twain to me. She sang this well. I like the performance with the guy she keeps pushing away and then flirting with him again. I like that. The lyrics are a bit, I hate you so much, or something like that, is the title of the song. Not a great fan of that message, but I liked the tongue in cheek performance. So that's why it's my number four. And the song is quite catchy as well. I added it to my playlist. In third place, I have Greg Suella. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Um, Love the 80s vibe in this song. His voice is really good as well and fits this type of song. The performance is quite well choreographed. The song is catchy as well, even though it doesn't really stay in my ear, which might be a detriment if it goes to Eurovision. I love the leather jacket and the rock stylings of it all. I do feel like the staging is a bit too clean for a song like this. Like there could be a bit more dark and gruff and raw stuff going on, maybe. It feels a bit too Melodifestivalen and not rock festival enough for me, but still, it's my number three, so I like it quite a lot. He has a lot of charisma selling this song as well, so this would be a great entry for Sweden. In second place, I have the guys who most people, I think, want to represent Sweden, and I completely understand why. This is an incredibly catchy song. It's, I think, if I understood correctly, it's in Finnish Swedish, so like a special kind of dialect that they sing in, which is really cool. You kind of, I feel like I hear it. It doesn't sound quite Swedish. It sounds a bit Finnish. I think there are a few words in Finnish. It's a song about sauna culture, which is such a cool idea and so creative. I love the staging as well. It's like sauna culture and forest and wood chipping and all of that, but they're still in their old-fashioned suits, which gives this a cool tension. This is, they play their instruments. I really love this because it is a fun entry, but it's not cringe. It's not crass. It's not making fun of anything. It's really in a good, it has a good vibe. And I love that. And that's the right tone to strike. Looking at some other countries who already selected their entries, this is the kind of fun entry that I like at Eurovision because it also has a message that being at a sauna is cool, I guess, is the message. And then my number one This is very personal. This is last in the odds, so this will definitely not win. But I just love these kinds of songs. To be honest, when it came on my shuffle playlist thing, I thought, oh, when did I add songs from The Greatest Showman to my playlist again? Because it does sound like a rip-off a little bit from The Greatest Showman. But I love her vibe, her charisma, the way she really lives this song. I love the song. It's so catchy and positive. It's the kind of song I want to listen to after, you know, watching the news or something like that. Happy to be living life again. That is a great message, and I just love her perform it. And yeah, I would be happy if this represented Sweden. It's not going to happen, and it wouldn't be the right choice, probably. However, this is my personal subjective number one. Which is why now I want to try to be more objective and tell you who I think Sweden should send to Eurovision and who should win Melodifestivalen to give Sweden the best chance of doing well at Eurovision. And I think we have to be honest. You've seen that he was only my number 5 in my personal ranking. And that has, by the way, nothing to do with the fact that he is a former winner. I made a whole video on the pros and cons of former winners returning and ended the video by saying that I think it's completely fine for winners to return and try to compete again. That's not the issue. The issue is more the lyrics and the song for me. But I have to recognize that this song and especially the staging would be eaten up by the juries, I think. I think the televoters would also love this because the staging for the last 30 seconds is amazing, for the last 5 seconds is world class. He sells this incredibly well. He has proven that he can win Eurovision also. He sings it so well. His voice is better than with Heroes. And yeah, this would be the best chance Sweden has at doing well at Eurovision. And I also have to say, I watched the performance in between watching some German final performances, and the levels were just, it was another world actually watching this performance. And I just have to recognize that objectively, he is incredibly good at what he is doing. However, I also think that Grezuela would bring something to Eurovision, a vibe and a feeling that we don't have yet, as of yet, like a rockier song that is more like an 80s feel that a lot of people could also get behind. He also has the charisma to sell this song. I think this song would also do pretty well at Eurovision. And then I think the fandom would be very happy if Sweden sent Kai. I would personally be very happy. It is a kind of fun entry, kind of like Daði Freyr maybe, that is fun to watch and entertaining to watch, but also very catchy, well done musically, which this is, and then also has a message that comes through the staging. It's not a joke entry, it's not a crazy entry per se. It's a good entry that is also fun at the same time. I think 12 points from Finland would be assured with this, and a lot of points from other places as well. The juries might not like this, but the televote would certainly go for this, and maybe it would be a nice change of pace for Sweden to get a higher televote than jury vote. So yeah, if I could choose, I would choose Kai. However, when I predict who will win Melodifestivalen, I'm thinking of the international juries that will probably go for Mons, maybe some of the other popular entries. I can't quite see them falling in love with Kai, even though I would love to see that. I think the televote might go, well, I think it's between Mons and Kai probably in the end. But Swedish people, please let me know what you think. Who will win Melodifestivalen? But for the moment, I think the safest prediction is to say that Mons will win and will represent Sweden for a second time. Do let me know in the comments your predictions, who you think Sweden should send, and also your own personal top 12, or at least your favorites in Melodifestivalen this year. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of my videos, and then I might see you for my next one. See you then, and bye-bye.